My dad worked for the BBC and he was based at Broadcasting House in London, and he also worked in other buildings around that area which belonged to the BBC. He was actually a carpenter, but he did the fire doors in the BBC, so he worked with asbestos, putting the asbestos in the fire doors. I first contacted WE Solicitors when my dad was alive and he was having problems with his chest and breathing. He was in Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Woolwich, and we were told that he had mesothelioma and that it was an asbestos related disease. When I first contacted WE Solicitors, I found them, they reassured me for a start. They weren't pushy. Do you know, when you sometimes, I mean, I deal with lots of pushy people, and normally that totally puts a blanket on things. But they were so approachable, is the word. They were very approachable, and I felt reassured by them. And so did my dad, and that was what mattered. As long as my dad was happy at the time, then that was fine with me. And Steve made a big impression when he came down, and that was it. That was the start of the relationship between WE Solicitors and my father and me. I mean, I think they were having a rough time with the BBC, because the BBC was trying to put their foot down. You know, I think what it is with the BBC is, because it's such a big company, I mean, to my dad wasn't an individual. He was just a member of their staff who had been there years ago, and they've had thousands of members going through. And I think WE Solicitors made my dad an individual. You know, I mean, my dad gave most of his life to the BBC, to work in there. And my dad would never have a bad word said against the BBC. And then even after he died, he wouldn't, even just before he died, he wouldn't say anything bad about the BBC. And, you know, WE Solicitors gave it that sort of like, I don't know, individuality to my dad, you know, which made it a lot better and gave me a lot of good feeling, you know. And it helped me, definitely helped me.